I hate to be the one to tell you, but Zombie Galacti is legit right now. This is the build of Zombie Galacti played by Jwala of Cerebro 3 fame. It is a very similar deck in all honesty, and he did hit rank 1 with it this season. I had him on my channel with the expectation that I'd have a little bit of fun and kind of mess around with a bad combo deck. And I gotta tell you, for a bad combo deck, this is kind of the best deck I've ever played. I'm not saying it's the best deck in the game, but this is a much more legit and much more real deck than I think people are willing to give it credit for. I think a lot of people look at Zombie Galacti and they think this is terrible. I think this deck actually just straight up has legs. And the basic reason that it does is the power output is quite high if you're able to set it up right. This is the list that we are currently playing. The best thing you can do is get a bunch of Gwenpools onto Mavericks, onto Zombie G himself. I would be comfortable in saying that if Zombie Galacti cost 1 less in general, this would actually just be straight up busted and people would understand that as is. That is not true, but this deck is good at about a 60% win rate with it. It was very, very solid, and I feel like people need to understand that this is actually one of the few all-in combo decks that you can realistically play into a metagame that is as heavy on things like Deafening Chord and Stardust as the metagame is right now. I think this deck is actually straight up good. So let's talk about the individual card choices and then go into the gameplay, which will have Jwala himself on voice, so you'll be able to hear his opinions during as well. Deafening Chord is a decent card in the deck. Since Zombie Galacti can no longer hit skills, you have a pretty reasonable amount of upside in this card. It's solid. I don't think it's locked in. Right now, it's between this card and Spider-Ham, depending on what kind of disruption you want. Largely, it's just that this is a reasonable enough card that you're fairly excited to see that that Zombie Galacti cannot target, and it'll occasionally do something that keeps your opponent's point total lower than it would otherwise be, right? Like, this is a deck that does a lot of points, Zombie Galacti, but sometimes you can still get outpowered by, like, fairly normal stuff. It's in that hella zone where most of the time you're bigger than a mid-range deck, but not all the time. And unlike Hella, you can really run like, okay, well, my opponent's a Maverick deck. They no longer have Maverick. That kind of thing actually does help out a lot. Majestic Wingbeat is actually just awesome. This is just a great card in this list. You obviously pretty always want this to be hitting Zombie Galacti. It enables you to play a 6-turn game instead of a 7-turn game and gives the card +2 power, which is quite important. This is just a card that you go out of your way to make sure you can hit Zombie Galacti with. That is the purpose of it. That is why it is in the deck. This is a big part of why the deck functions. One of the tough things in this deck is the density of buffs and the density of card draw means that sometimes you'll have a Zombie Galacti that you can play, but it won't be big enough for you to necessarily win. So Chavez is just a card that carries a Zombie Galacti proc and makes the Zombie Galacti bigger some amount of the time. There are just shockingly few genuine options for a slot like this. She just is actually one of the best possible cards you can play in a deck that is focused on doing what this deck is focused on doing. It's not even just hitting Zombie Galacti. You can hit something like a Maverick and then pass the buff on later. That's perfectly fine as well. Nico is kind of the bread and butter of this deck. Copying basically anything is pretty good because the copies just give you more copies of things that buff. Usually, just things that are allowing you to function as a deck are pretty important here. The draw 2 is obviously amazing because you need all of your cards in the right order in order to make sure that you're actually able to play your combo. All of that stuff is quite important. So Nico is probably actually the most important card in the deck, but there's something a bit wrong with her. Because of the way Marvel Snap is programmed, you can't tell if Nico is hit by Zombie Galacti. Your opponent also cannot tell. So that is a pretty meaningful, impactful thing. Sometimes you'll know because you've drawn your deck and you can actually check and see that there are only 5 other things that have been hit, and so obviously Nico is the one that hasn't. But because of her VFX and her reference cards, there's no room for Zombie Galacti VFX and Zombie Galacti reference cards because those spots are both being taken up. And so it's just actually kind of impossible to know unless you draw your entire deck and figure it out. I don't think I've ever said this sentence before, but I think Adam Warlock might be the most important card in this entire deck. So much of this deck is cheap and built for dumping your hand that you want all the cards you can possibly get, and you want to be drawing through your deck in order to make consistency happen. Adam Warlock drawing cards is the most valuable thing anything can do in this deck. And Adam Warlock drawing cards is actually like a pretty reasonable thing to happen in a world where a lot of people are playing various hood shenanigans and other relatively small one-drops early in the game. This is not an amazing thing to happen, but the upside on Adam Warlock is he draws you a bunch of cards. The downside is he gives himself 1 power and then starts working with Superior Spider-Man. So that curve is you're gonna either get extra energy or get extra cards. And sometimes the answer is legitimately both. Surge is kind of great in this deck, just making sure you can just keep those rolling downhill. There are a lot of really cheap cards in this deck, so you very often get to keep a Surge rolling, and really the only times where you don't get to keep a Surge rolling are times when you are playing Zombie Galacti off the Surge, which means it already did its job of making sure you didn't have to be a Magic deck this game. Surge is excellent in this list. No downsides here. The way that it works with every card in this list, the way that it adds buffs to cards on the top of the deck, the way that it makes Zombie Galacti 6 cost, the way that it adds buffs in order to make sure that things hit Symbiotes or Superior Spider-Man. Great card here. Forge is pretty self-explanatory, but you don't need to tunnel vision on making sure he hits Zombie Galacti. Often it can be a good thing to do, but sometimes you're going to need to get him out of your hand in order to make sure that Gwenpool targets the right stuff, and that's going to have to take priority over making sure he hits Zombie Galacti. Part of the upside of running skills in this deck, now that Zombie Galacti doesn't hit them, is that you can set up such that Gwenpool, your hand is 3 cards, but it's actually just Zombie Galacti that can hit, and sometimes that requires using a Forge inefficiently, things of that nature. Obviously, you want to get this onto Maverick. Maverick is your holdover buff guy, effectively. If you don't have Zombie Galacti in hand, what you're doing is buffing a Maverick in order to make the Zombie Galacti top deck much more functional. I don't like being a Magic deck. I think that Magik is really bad in a Merlin world. I really honestly think I want to cut her, but I just think that this deck works too well with Magik to actually seriously consider getting rid of her. If we had maybe one more good ramp or energy cheat card, I'd be talking about it. If we had second Superior Spider-Man, I'd be I care way more about this. But between the extra card draw and the ability to just naturally play Zombie Galacti, I think the card is probably too important. The problem is I feel like the cube equity is just terrible on this card, where everyone is leaving if you're going into turn 7 with enough things on the board that say they're going to turn into the giantest man of all time, and nobody's really going to stay unless they're rug pulling you with a Nico or a Merlin, and it's a whole thing. I don't think the EV on this in terms of cubes is very good. I do think right now it's probably required for the deck to function in much the same way as Mr. Negative is, but probably the biggest upgrade that this deck has gotten is the existence of this card, which is a huge buff to how this deck functions, because it effectively gives it a second card to actually put your buffs on that can then transfer them to Zombie Galacti. And even if it didn't do that, you would probably play 3/3 Forge in a Zombie Galacti deck anyway. So this guy is just absolutely the GOAT. Between this and Adam Warlock are actually probably the 2 most important cards in the entire list. These are the cards that make the deck legitimately function. Passing a big buff onto ZG is really important. You have to be very cognizant of opposing Deafening Chord potential. That's a very real thing when you start positioning this guy. Superior is kind of great. There's enough small buffs in here between Surge and Adam Warlock and the Forges you play off curve onto Mavericks or whatever, that you're just going to have that extra energy pretty often. And that extra energy is pretty important because this deck not only needs to be able to play Zombie Galacti, it needs to get all the Zombie Galacti holders onto the board if you want to get as much payoff from it as you possibly can. And that is just a really good thing to have extra energy for doing. It feels like this is a very consistent Superior Spider-Man deck. This guy was on basically all the time. Just a lot of the time you just play him on turn 3 and he would just be on. And that's just a really freeing feeling for a combo deck. A lot of how you play this deck is emptying your hand except for either Maverick or Zombie Galacti in order to maximize Gwenpool procs. There is an element of RNG inherent in this, I fear, but she is the only card that can +6 a Zombie Galacti on her own, and that does make her a very valuable part of the team. This is a pretty good deck. Like, honestly, I think people are expecting this deck to be terrible because it was terrible when it first came out. But when it first came out, it didn't have Maverick. When it first came out, people hadn't gotten to these builds. When it first came out, it didn't have Wingbeat. None of these things were part of what this deck was capable of doing when it came out. And also, it has an extra point of power from then, and it will no longer hit the skills, which means that you have more reliable Gwenpools. Just a bunch of really good things have happened for this deck, and I think people are deeply low on it. And part of why I wanted to make this video is just to tell you, like, hey, this deck is real. If you play against this deck, it is real. You have to respect this deck. Stop treating it like a joke. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I've been KMBest. You've been phenomenal, and we're going to jump into some gameplay. The other voice on the stream that you may hear is Jwala, aka Jwala, aka I'm probably pronouncing it wrong, so I'm hedging my bets by pronouncing it both ways. Thank you so much for watching. I've been KMBest. You've been phenomenal. And remember to respect your local Zombie Galacti gamer today. I like drawing cards. I'm a big fan of drawing cards. I am going to fire off this copy because it's a Nico and it says copy on it. Sauron.
I think Sauron could either be Zenny just streamed a what's it called, a Patriot Sauron meme deck list. So it could be someone copying him, or it could be someone who's playing Surtur. Depends.
Seems like a snap.
Yep.
I don't even want my Magik is the problem.
I mean, no, but are they doing anything to stop you, like, from doing magic stuff?
No,
because
it's gonna be guaranteed 2 cubes instead of more than that.
That's fair.
I'm gonna do it.
But I think, yeah, I don't think it's guaranteed Q cubes, if, like, we're able to get some sort of thing with, like,
oh shit, maybe they're gonna do something sick as fuck. Who the hell knows what's happening now?
Yeah, I buy. I was thinking that, or we could surge now, but we could surge now, hope that we get, like, a good card, like, I don't know, so we can, like, roll downhill. Because we don't have anything on board that's buffed with Superior Spider-Man if we get surge.
But if we play surge into Quantum Realm, we will.
Yeah, no, I was saying we surge. I was thinking we actually
oh my
no.
god, it's a Galactus Infinite. That's insane.
We just fire off the Chord.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fire off Chord in the middle, probably. Oh my god.
So then they're basically not able to contest, right? Under any circumstances.
That is my understanding.
So we just
do this.
Yeah.
Hello,
yeah.
So happy.
Or 16, sorry. Anything marked? No. Okay. Well.
I mean, they're just dead, so
This seems
yeah.
right to me.
Seems fine to me as well.
Yep. Yep.
Victory.
Going on there? Not even a question in my mind. All right, Forge Gwenpool. I like extra energy a lot. I don't like using Wingbeat on this. What do you think about this situation?
No. Definitely not. Don't Wingbeat here at all. You hold, and then next turn you either Adam Warlocking.
I'm feeling an
if
Adam
you-
Warlock middle here. Oh,
Yeah, Adam Warlock middle could work.
Feeling Adam Warlock middle into Superior Spider-Man middle? Feeling fucking great.
Yeah, and Adam Warlock middle into Superior Spider-Man middle, 100%. And then you're hoping to draw a Drew for Maverick.
Yep. That seems busted.
Indeed.
On the other hand, that bishop is a motherfucker.
Yeah, but we have Chord.
We do have
The
Chord.
bull-
All right, so I'm looking at Chord. Part of me wants to Nico the Forge.
I was thinking Chord, and then I was thinking Chavez Magik, because you have a 1 in 3 you have a 2 out of 3 chance to hit Maverick or Galacti, and that's +3, and that just like wins the game.
Yeah, how do I feel about this hospice?
So
Good.
Maverick, yes, Galacti does keep the does like get extra buffs through
Yeah,
hospice.
that is
So
basically what I was asking.
yeah.
Yeah, they're not getting extra energy this turn. Is this low CL? Great question. Yes. I wonder if they have a Scarlet, which I guess it doesn't matter because
Oh, they have. Oh, yeah. They. Damn. They really filled.
Yeah. I'm gonna get Legion here and die. That's a Maverick.
So in this scenario, is it better to just? I'm thinking, is it just better to is it better to Maverick left in case
I'm
they
thinking
like
it
do
is better
something?
than Maverick left. I don't even know if that's a question. I think it's
Yeah, I
just
think-
Forge
okay.
Maverick on the or sorry,
No,
Maverick
no, it's
right.
I think it's Nico. No, it's Nico. I think I'm worried in case like they have interaction. Like there's no need to put like do anything extra if we're already winning by that much. So I would guess it's Nico, Forge, right, and then and I'll be also because the low CL player won't know what the hell is going on with the with Galacti being more.
Sure, I buy that. Also, apparently, I have to turn you down a little bit.
Oh, sorry.
No, not your fault. My fault. I just turned you down. We're good.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so do we think we're getting Scarlet Witched here?
I know we're getting Merlin.
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, doesn't matter.
Yeah, we just play the card and it's fine.
Actually, wait a second to see if they snap. I have a feeling. I have a feeling a low CL player will snap. Is likely to think that they're winning here and they'll snap this, but hard to say.
I think I'm just playing Zombie Galacti.
Yeah, you're just playing out Zombie Galacti.
Pretty big. I was wrong. I mean, they're still dead.
I mean, yeah.
Hey, you found a rook.
They would need like anything that actually.
So, presumably I just play another one of these guys?
Yep, play another one of these guys and just like rock mid. Yep. Pretty.
Okay, so all our good hits for this America Chavez are currently in our hand. That's a good Maverick.
I think the we're hoping for Adam Warlock or Superior Spider-Man here.
Mm-hmm.
The hits. Zombie Galacti being on the left, if you get Adam Warlock, oh god damn it! If you get what's it called, Adam Warlock and like some way to like just like fall out of control.
Yeah,
I think is a snap because you get Wingbeat.
Oh my god, my one drops. Holy shit. So I guess my question here is like, am I actually even invested in being a Magic deck right now?
I think you're invested in being in a Magic deck in the sense that you want to get your hand empty so you can get the world's largest Zombie Galacti.
I basically buy that, yeah.
You don't need to dump. You also don't need to dump Chord out of your hand.
Yeah, no,
also.
I know. The Chord probably doesn't have a better target, but I don't want to deal with it. I do think it's
no, you want no. I think you play both left, or actually both right.
Did.
Maybe.
Oh.
No. Play both right because I'm worried about because he's a negative deck. I'm worried about Shang-Chi something.
Sure. You don't want me to get priority over there. I get it.
Yeah.
That's so scary, dude. I'm not leaving.
What's the hope? The hope is Nico turn off location. We want to draw priority no matter what here. So we obviously play out the Surge, but do we play out the Spider-Man? Doesn't matter in the long run.
I'm gonna say it doesn't matter.
Well, no, it matter actually. How many do you have? You have 6 Zombie Galacti targets on board. So Nico will not be marked.
Yeah.
So it does. So Superior Spider-Man doesn't matter.
Okay, so we just do this and pass.
Yeah.
That's at least 2 draws. It was 1 draw. They drew 1 card off that.
Okay, so they have priority.
Yep.
So what are they doing? They're doing Zola null stuff or something.
Yeah, I don't know. They could be doing a lot of shit, frankly. Works for me.
They have priority counter first, so we're not dead.
They have priority. We are alive. Conifer. They could have like a Cosmo or some shit.
I remember Smiz talking in chat.
Why not Galacti mid? Because the maximum. I think I play this Nico.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
goes
What? Yeah,
middle.
1000%.
I think it probably
You're
goes
going
middle because I'm gonna
What,
put
I
it where the
think-
Warlock is.
Yeah, but do you want to? Okay, yeah, I buy that. I was thinking you just play all three left, but
Yeah, no, you see what I'm saying now, right?
yeah.
Holy shit.
I think we superior middle.
I was thinking about magicking middle if it didn't get blown up. You think that's off base? Because my instinct is it makes a ton of sense. I think they're just going to benefit way more from this than I will.
Yeah, unless we draw a Maverick,
Yeah.
but that's I think Maverick. 1000% middle. I think Vibranium goes middle, even if we're
I
going.
don't think Vibranium goes middle.
I feel like we want to get get Adam Warlock engine down as quickly as possible.
I don't think we're going to get it. I think I'd
Okay,
rather
that's
Gwenpool there.
Oh, is this C4?
Great question. No, it's just some multiple man shit.
Okay. Hey.
But yeah, this was pretty important, I think. Seems good.
Okay, this is a snap.
You think so?
Yeah, 1000%. Gwenpool into.
I'm afraid of
Yeah.
like a Cosmo, but yeah, sure.
Then we just then worst case we want to keep all lanes open in case of Cosmo. Then
Yeah, that would be my thought.
if you're super scared of Cosmo, you just play it on 6. Better to get 2 cubes than deal with a 50-50.
Do you think we should go for it right now?
It's up to you. Let's see, out of our draws, 2 of them allow us to play around Juggernaut. So play around Juggernaut and fill and stop a potential Cosmo. So that's my thought process.
I'll play a Forge.
Do it. Okay.
Legion. Fuck. Okay, we're alive. I'm now less afraid of a Cosmo. Not gonna lie. Surge?
Yeah,
surge,
they're just-
surge. Okay, never mind. Fine, fair enough.
They're just ultra dead here. It doesn't matter where you put the Galacti. I would just put it in the safest possible spot because you're just going over the top.
Oh no. I'm getting Cosmoed. I'm not getting Cosmoed. Behold, 18 power zombie Galacti. Is that good? The world may never know. That was the problem.
Nerd.
Like, we could do some stuff, but none of it was good. Ugh. Good thing we have a Chavez in here, goddamn. Yo, do we just, like, totally audible? Dude, I'm kind of feeling it.
Fuck it. You can... fuck it.
I'm feeling
on
it.
board.
Fuck it, I'm playing a different deck now. I'm doing some other shit.
And we have Forge Spider-Man also.
Yeah, it's fucking sick. Oh god. They're dog shit. Oh my god.
Wait, we have Chavez. Surely Chavez provides and hits Nimrod, right? And then we have Spider-Man that will Spider-Man will you know,
do something. Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Something is surely happening the same. We got the one deck that is worse than ours. Yo, wait, Electro Viper next turn?
Wait, this is Galactus.
Yeah.
Wait, so Spider-Man... Is Spider-Man... No, because they play fastball. Fuck.
What if we just Electro Fastball?
I'm down. That sounds like a
I
great
like
idea.
energy, bro. Oh, dude. Did we just win? Is this the easiest win of all time?
Do we just snap them?
Yeah.
Oh, snap.
And then we Viper it?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I guess we don't Viper it. They can see it, you know?
I mean, we could just Viper wait. I mean, no,
Forge
but then it forces
Viper,
them to play.
Yeah, Forge Viper, it's like, if they have a Hobgoblin, we die, right?
Yeah, that's true. So I think what if we just Thanos?
Yep. What about Forge Wave Spider-Man? We have priority. And not that much energy. Here's the Hobgoblin. Ah, it's fastball stuff. Okay. I am going to play these two cards. I think I will win.
Wait, yeah, no, that's.
Can we count null power? It's vastly minimal. Null is like 13 or something. Uh-oh. Okay. Like null